Well, hello, grade 5. Here we are in our values class today. It's really good to be with you. My friends, as we always do, let's go ahead and take our moment of mindfulness. We don't have our labyrinths, but we do have our singing bowl. Again, I remind us that as we hear that, it resets our ears, it resets our brain, so that indeed we're better focused in being able to be in this moment now. We're going to take our breathing and do our 5 breaths. So if you will, take a deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold it, and let it go. Very good. Again, we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let it go. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last time, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let it go. Oh, well done, my friends. You know, today I'd like to talk about giving and receiving, or the idea of a bigger word that I'm going to teach you today is called reciprocity. 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 It means giving and receiving. It means that we equally share with one another respect and kindness and consideration of each other. And it might be a really good practice for us right now as we are distance learning. We're seeking to be considerate of those around us and being mindful of their needs as well as ours. Reciprocity. Reciprocity. Giving and receiving. It's kind of like trading back and forth. Trading back and forth to get what you want, which hopefully means that we are all getting along. I wanted to read a book today that talks about this very idea, this idea of reciprocity, this idea of giving and receiving. It's entitled One Fine Day. So one fine day, a fox traveled through a great forest. And when he reached the other side, he was very thirsty. And he saw a pail of milk that an old woman had set down while she gathered wood for her fire. And before she noticed the fox, he had lapped up most of the milk. The woman became so angry that she grabbed her knife and chopped off his tail. And the fox began to cry. "Oh, please, old woman, give me back my tail. Sew it in place or all my friends will laugh at me." "Well, give me back my milk," she said, "and I'll give you back your tail." So the fox dried his tears and went to find a cow. "And dear cow," he begged, "please give me some milk so I can give it to the old woman so she will sew my tail on again." The cow replied, "Well, I'll give you some milk if you bring me some grass." So the fox called to the field, "Oh, beautiful field, give me some grass. I'll take it to the cow and she'll give me some milk. Then I'll take the milk to the old woman so she will sew my tail in place and I can return to my friends." The field called back, "Bring me some water." The fox ran to the stream and begged for some water. And the stream answered, "Bring me a jug." Ah, the fox found a fair maiden. "Oh, sweet maiden," he said, "please give me your jug so I can fetch some water, to give the field, to get some grass, to feed the cow, to get some milk, to give the old woman to sew my tail back in place so I can return to my friends." And the maiden smiled. "If you find a blue bead for me," she said, "I'll give you my jug." So, the fox found a peddler and said, "There is a pretty maiden down the road, and if you give me one blue bead for her, she'll be pleased with you and pleased with me. Then she'll give me her jug so I can fetch some water, to give the field, to get some grass, to feed the cow, to get some milk, to give to the old woman, and sew my tail back in place." But the peddler was not taken in by the promise of a pretty smile or the cleverness of the fox. And he replied, "Pay me an egg, and I'll give you a bead." The fox went off and found a hen. "Hen, dear hen, please give me an egg to give to the peddler in payment for the bead, to get the jug, to fetch the water, to give the field, to get some grass, to feed the cow, to get some milk that I must give to the old woman in return for my tail." And the hen clucked, "I'll trade you an egg for some grain." Oh, the fox was getting desperate. And when he found the miller, he began to cry. "Oh, kind miller, please give me a little grain. I have to trade it for the egg to pay the peddler, to get the blue bead to give the maiden, in return for her jug to fetch the water, to give the field, to get the grass to feed the cow, to get the milk to give to the old woman, so she'll sew my tail in place, or all my friends will laugh at me." And the miller was a good man, and he felt sorry for the fox. So he gave him the grain to give to the hen, to get the egg, to pay the peddler, to get the bead, to give to the maiden, to get the jug, to fetch the water, to give the field, to get the grass, to feed the cow, to get the milk, to give the old woman, to get his tail back. And the fox returned to the old woman and gave her the milk. And then she carefully sewed his tail in place. And off he ran to join his friends on the other side of the forest. Reciprocity, giving and taking. So in this story, a fox must make a series of trades to get something he wants, his tail back. So what are the various trades the fox makes? All right, well, over here, we go through the whole series again. The fox goes to the miller, tries to be able to get the grain, and uses the grain to be able to get an egg. And from there, he gives the egg to the peddler to get the bead. And from there, the bead goes to the maiden to get the jug. And the jug goes over to the stream for the water. And the water goes over to the grass. And the grass goes to the cow. And the milk goes to the old woman. And finally, the fox gets his tail. Everyone got what they needed and traded something for the fox to get what he needed. Giving and receiving. Reciprocity. And what problems did the fox have? Well, for one, he drank all the milk that really wasn't his. And that's how he lost his tail. But now he had to figure out how to get the milk back to the old woman. And what he had to do was he had to be able to trade, or what is also known as bartering. He had to be able to trade with others what he needed. He had to give something to receive something. And so indeed, it all went around. He went to the field to get the grass, but the field said, "Bring me some water." And he went to the stream to be able to get the water, and the stream said, "Well, bring me a jug." And there was one obstacle after another, after another, after another, that he couldn't get his tail back until all of that had gone through. And on it went, so that indeed, in this story, it wasn't easy for him to get what he needed. But you know, sometimes it's hard work to work with others and to be able to give and receive. And sometimes what we need to do is what we call compromise. We have to compromise to work together. And we have to understand the other person, to see their point of view, and to be able to see what they need and see if we can help them with their needs, that we can get what we need. Compromise means being very patient. Maybe going through a lot of obstacles. Maybe going through one challenge after another, until we get there. I think that maybe our fox ran out of his patience after he got through so many obstacles. But finally, he got to where he needed to be. So I want to ask you today, my friends, how are you compromising at home? Can you try to give and receive? Maybe you make a bit of a trade with your brother or sister for use of the computer or TV time, or maybe being able to do some extra chores around the house for your family to get a little extra playtime. Remember, it's worth it to hang in there and compromise, to give and receive, and our big word, reciprocity, to get what we want in the end.